Right, okay, where do I start with this one? This isn't an AI generated photo you see here. It really is Magic Grandpa. I wish I'd have coined that phrase, I really do. Jeremy Corbyn, the Marxist politician, the anti-patriotic friend of the terrorists, Jeremy Corbyn. Uh, and he stood there outside a pub with a bunch of Irish lads, a band called Kneecap. Kneecap. I'm not making this up. I'm really not making this up. And they got a flag with the free plasticine bollocks on it. We know what it means. And one of them is wearing the Irish tricolour flag tea cosy on his head. Right. I think he does his own PR, Jeremy Corbyn. He must do. He's his own worst enemy. Anyway, so he did an interview with them, with this group who glorify the troubles, the violence. They compared Ulster to Narnia. They named their group Kneecap. Kneecap is, and to be fair, was used on both sides of the troubles, Protestant and Catholic, IRA and the Prods. As a form of punishment, they put a pistol behind someone's knee and blow it out. And they never walk properly ever again. It's horrific punishment, but there we go. That's what they call themselves, and fair play to them. So, each their own, I guess. But they stood in front of a mural recently which said England out of Ireland. England aren't in Ireland at all whatsoever. The Irish are a republic. They're part of the EU. England has nothing to do with it, so they're still fanning the flames of all that bollocks over there unnecessarily. Good. What the hell for? What's the point? Really, what is the point? So he was in this bar or a cafe with these clots, and one of the lads is still sat there. They're having a cup of tea. And this lad is sat there with his Irish tricolour flag, tea cosy on his head, and he said, okay, why are we here today? We're here because we reject the violence in Palestine, in Gaza, by the Israelis, and we're using music to do that. You can't make this shit up. You really can't. I'm doing a video on this and I'm struggling. I can't find the words. I really can't. But it just goes to prove how unpatriotic Jeremy Corbyn is. For a British MP, an English Member of Parliament paid by British taxpayers' money, a multi-millionaire hypocrite who pushes damaging socialist and communist and Marxist policies on the people. Can you imagine the country under him and John McDonnell? The country would be worse, if you can imagine that. The country's not in a good shape as it is, but under him and their insane far left policies, it'd be ruined. It'd be utterly ruined. Thank God everyone voted for the best of the bad bunch, Boris Johnson at the time, including myself. I voted for Boris Johnson in order to keep this idiot, this friend of the terrorists, out of Downing Street as British Prime Minister. When he was leader of the opposition, he'd stand at the cenotaph and he'd look worse than was it Michael Foot and the donkey jacket back in the 80s? So scruffy, disrespectful, no respect whatsoever for our glorious war dead, and that's Jeremy Corbyn all over. But this guy would rather sit down in a cafe or a bar, having a nice cup of tea with Irish lads calling themselves Kneecap, glorifying the violence in Ulster, the anti-British, obviously, than sit down and with British soldiers, have a beer with British soldiers or something, or a British institution, people who serve this country, gave their lives to this country and do it well. So that tells you everything you need to know about the guy. I was going to say man, but Jeremy Corbyn's no man. And if I ever do call him a man, then I'll be using that word very loosely indeed. What an unpatriotic, silly individual Jeremy Corbyn is. He is a comic figure. And if you did have a PR guy or woman or whatever they identify as, they'd have told him, don't do this. Don't do this with them. Find another band or something. that promotes music for peace in Gaza, Palestine, whatever, don't choose a pro-IRA band which glorifies the violence, and one of them is wearing the Irish tricolour flag, tea cosy, on their head. People will laugh at you, Jeremy. But no, he doesn't have that person, sadly. It's just him. What a fool. Anyway, I struggled with that one, but I need to tell you, I had to show you that because it's just, I couldn't believe it. I could believe it because it's Jeremy Corbyn, but still, nuts, isn't it? Anyway, there we go, that's my video. Please let me know what you think in the comments, and until the next time, Roger Trout. Oh, British salute, not the American way.